Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my top 10 of 2018 so far. So it was actually kind of hard. I have read over 40 books, which is really good for me. Again, my goal is like 52 books in a year, so when I get above it, it's awesome. So I think technically now I'm a little bit beyond that, but at the end of June, I think I was at 42. So to me, that was really, really good. So anyway, so I'm going to go through the top 10. Not all of these were like 5 stars, but they all were like 4 and above. And a lot of them are ones that I keep thinking about, which is why they're higher on the list than maybe I thought they would be at first. So anyway, I just thought I'd go through. Since everybody's doing this at this time of year, I thought I would do it as well. So I am going to show up my number 1 reread so far this year. I've had a lot of really great rereads. I love rereading books. I admit it. That's one of the things I like to do it at least once a month. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but I really do like to reread books. So the one that I read this year was House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielowski, and I read this back when it came out. I think it was in 2000, and loved it then, and I love it now. Now there's still questions and issues with this, and there's a lot of stuff in here that's weird, but it is one of the weirdest books with stuff with, you know, it has normal text, you know, and then it kind of goes to like just pages of little things, and it's just a weird story within a story within a story kind of thing. And I got so much more out of it this time around because it's, you know, it had been like 17 years since I picked it up. So I really, really enjoyed this, and this again is my top reread of the year so far. I just really enjoyed that. So now going into the books that were new to me in 2018. So these are all, most of these books are not from 2018. These are mostly books that I just owned or got during 2018 to read. So there you go. So the first one, number 10, is Embassy Town by China Melville. I'm trying to read more of his books because I've collected a lot of them and I just haven't read much. I've only read like 2 or 3 of his books, so now I've got this one done. I really enjoyed this science fiction book about kind of a colony out in the middle of space, and how, you know, they had to deal with an alien species that was there that was hard to communicate with them, and so it has to do a lot with language and losing that language and changing things to make things so communication can open up again, but in a different way. I thought this book was really well done. It kept me wanting to read, and it was fascinating, some of the stuff with language, and I really, really enjoyed that book. Number 9 is The Firebird by Susanna Kearsley. Again, this is a historical historical fiction book with dual timelines. So usually there's something in the past and something in the present where the people in the present don't know exactly what happened in the past. So we get to see both timelines. I like these ones because the history is just phenomenal in her books. And I just finished this a couple weeks ago, last week, and I really, really enjoyed this one. With seeing like Russia and stuff in 1700s. It was really cool. So I like that one. Number 8 is Survivors Will Be Shot Again by Bill Kreider. Oh, I think this is number 23. I think it's 23 in his Dan Rhodes murder mysteries. Now these are very sad because again we lost him. His battle with cancer, so there aren't any more coming. I have one more past this and then I'm done, and it sucks. But these mysteries are just so, like, just little small cozies, but with a county sheriff in Texas and all the stuff he has to go through and all the crazy characters in this small little area and the people he has to deal with, and then there's always that mystery, the murder mystery. So I just love these little mysteries, and I am so sad I only have one more to read, and I will miss him. And then, let's see here, number 8 is Picnic at Hanging Rock by Joan Lindsay. Again, this is an Australian classic, I think or modern classic, in 1967, I think. Anyway, but the point is, this is a great book. It takes place in 1900, and these young women go to Hanging Rock Park, the park there, and they 3 of the girls go missing, as well as one of the teachers. And the mystery behind it is weird. This is a weird, short little book. I totally recommend it. It was a bizarre book, and I have a copy coming in the mail now because I have to have a copy of this because I want to reread it maybe next year, like to see what else I pick up, because I picked up a lot of it, but I after reading some stuff online, I want to read it again. So I really enjoyed this. It was just a weird little mystery, kind of odd story. I really enjoyed that. Let's see here. Oh, I do need this. Sorry. This isn't going to work probably. Number 6 is not going to pop up because there it is Ocean Light by Nalini Singh. This is book number 17 in the Side Changeling series. So again, it's a paranormal romance. I've been reading these for a couple of years now. I own them all. These are books I reread all the time. So this is the new one that just came out. So again, I gotta wait a whole another year for another one. So these are just great. I can't talk about it because it's within the series. It's really far, but I would say, you know, go back and start at the beginning. But again, I love that series, and I just love it. Let's see here. So number 5 is Tin Man by Sarah Winman. I really like this book. I wasn't sure. I've had kind of hit and miss on a lot of the literary fiction that I've picked up since I started watching BookTube again, because I used to read a lot of it when I was younger, like in college, you know, when I was in college and I was actually studying English, and then literature and stuff, and so I kind of got away from it. So I've been getting back into it, and this is one of the ones I picked up that I really enjoyed. I thought it was really well put together story, and I had all the feels, and I really, really enjoyed that book. And again, it has to do with a man, he and his friend who grew up together, and their close relationship when they're younger, and then as they get older, they kind of go their separate ways, but something brings them back, and then it was a good story. I liked it. And then I have number 4, I kind of have a tie because I'm going to use it as a series. So my Bring Down Heaven trilogy, I've read the first 2 books, The City Stained Red and The Mortal Tally by Sam Sykes. These are awesome fantasy novels. The series is just funny. They're super funny, but they're also very, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, so there's a lot of heartbreak, and people just get hurt all the time, and nothing goes the way anything is supposed to go. So I am hoping to pick up the 3rd book here pretty soon to finish out this trilogy, but this has been a great fantasy series for me this year, and I'm really glad I picked that up. And then number 3, I don't have a picture of, I don't have the book, but it is Older Gulch by Ernest Haycock. This is a book written in a Western written in the 40s about, I think, 1860s, 60s or 80s, I can't remember which one, in Montana when they had a gold rush near Older Gulch and their Virginia City. So it is such a really good book. I was so surprised at how those characters had depth, and, you know, the story never went the way I thought it was going to. It was really well done. I thought for a Western written back then it was awesome. It was a really good book. I really need to pick up another book by Ernest Haycock. I guess he also wrote Stagecoach before there was a movie, I think. Anyway, so I probably want to find something like that, but I really, that was just amazing. And then number 2, I've kind of flip-flopped on what was my favorite book. I put down my favorite book as this book. So I'm going to move it to number 2 because the next couple weeks since I did that, let me hold on. Hey, cat, hey! Oh, he's going after my stuff. I knew I was going to have trouble. Hey! Chernobyl Prayer by Slavanya Alekovic. Sorry, I put a new bookcase and the cats are attacking my stuff because I can get to it now. So I love this book. And as I said, I thought when I did my mid-year freak out tag that this was my number 1. And it is still, as I said, it's number 2 now. I've changed my mind, but it's really still up there. It's like a close, like the first and seconds are so close. But this is nonfiction about the Chernobyl accident and the aftermath, and talking about all the people who lived there, who had to come and work there, who still are there. This was just heartbreaking, and I learned so much stuff that I had no idea what they went through or what they had to do or how they're dealing with it. Sorry. But it was a powerful book. I still think it's the most powerful read I've had, sorry, all year. So I really, really recommend that book. So my number one pick, as I said, I'm not like I've changed my mind, but it's such a close one with that one, because that's my, that nonfiction book was just so good. But I have to say right now, the love goes to North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. This book was awesome. I've been wanting to read this since last year when I first heard about it. Again, I'm going to say, why was this not on any of my syllabuses in college? She is just amazing. I love this book. I mean, it was a little hard to start to get into because, again, the writing's a little different, but the story is just worth it. And the characters are really complex, and I just love them. And I just fell in love with, with Margaret and John, and they were just awesome. And I haven't been able to let myself watch the miniseries because I have these images in my head, and the first 5 minutes of that miniseries just kind of went, no, I'm not watching this. So maybe never. But the point is that this was awesome and is one of my new favorite books for sure. Even if I read a lot of awesome books in the second half of the year, I know this is going to be up there. And I'm pretty sure Chernobyl Prayer will still be pretty high on the list. But this, as I said, I think my love for this is growing. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a book that I pick up to reread. If I don't pick it up by the end of this year, it'll probably be early next year because I just love this book. So those are all like my top 10 books of 2018 so far. Again, books that I've read, not that came out. Because, I don't think any of these books came out in 2018. Ocean Light did. That was about the only one. Everything else is from other years. So, well, it's just my reading. Anyway. So, hey, did you guys have a top book of the year? What are your top books? Are any of them on my list? Or anything that you think I should pick up? Let me know. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.